was supposed to be me documenting the bonding process between two rabbits. Unfortunately, Pepito is no longer with us. When you adopt a pet that's not a parrot or a turtle, you have to know that at some point you have to be there when they die. And unfortunately, Pepito had a tumour that grew very quickly and he had to be put to sleep. He knew that he was loved right up until the end, and I just have to keep reminding myself that he knew that he was my best boy. So without getting too sad, when we're right at the start of the video, I just want to dedicate this to him. I know it's a rabbit and I know everyone's going to think I'm a bit silly, but he was my baby. There's a really sad bit at the end of this video, so if you want to stop it without watching that last bit, I won't be offended. There's a lot of cute footage, a little bit of footage that's a little bit distressing to watch, but for the most part, it's two little happy bunnies. Hello aliens, welcome to this video. We are no longer a family of 3. We've had a new arrival this month. I don't know when this video is going up, I'm really sorry. But we decided to turn the spare room / storeroom into a place where we could house Miguel until Pepito is used to his scent. And then we could start the bonding process for the rabbits. Now, does that belong to Anya or your mum?
That's a Sam sock.
A Sam sock?
Yeah, that's a Sam sock.
Oh, let's keep it.
Let's keep a Sam sock.
Let's keep it. I miss Sam. Cool. And then this is all the room that we have for Miguel. Here he is. This is our new arrival. He is so adorable. He was originally named Norman, so you may hear me call him Norman on occasion. I have slipped up a few times in the past, but he is so adorable. His nose is so wiggly and his ears are so tiny. I love him so much. Such little ears. So small. Hello aliens, this is Norman Miguel. Norman Miguel Spartacus. And we're going to try and bond him with Pepito. We're going to see how it goes. Hopefully they bond really well and hopefully it's an easy process, because if not, then Miguel will be not staying with us. But we're going to give it a good try. They don't want to see the back of your head, baby. You're camera shy. Okay. I never had an X-Pen for Pepito, so me and Alex really struggled to put this together, but Alex worked it out and we got there in the end. This is a hoodie we usually put Pepe in to travel, and it smells like me and it smells like him, so I'm going to get Norman Miguel used to Pepito's scent. He already likes me, so that's half the battle. Are you going to do your first poo at this house? Just want to clear something up. I said a few videos ago that we were looking at rescuing a female rabbit. Unfortunately, that rabbit lives in Birmingham and it's not seen as essential for us to go and get her. So I was going to wait until restrictions were lifted to apply for her again if she was still available, like if she hadn't been fostered yet. But a girl I know unfortunately can't keep her rabbit anymore, so that's why we now have Miguel. He's an unfixed male. Pepito's obviously a male, but he is fixed. So we're hoping there isn't going to be too much of a territorial problem. I haven't bonded rabbits before, so I might get some things wrong. I might need you guys to educate me in the comments a little bit. If you have any tips of bonding males, please let me know, because this is I feel like this is quite a unique situation. Obviously we moved into this house about 2 months ago, so the majority of this room that we're in is neutral ground. Pepe has been in here, but he hasn't been in here for extended periods of time, so it's not like marked with his scent or anything just yet. Obviously Norman's brand new bunny. I keep calling him Norman. Miguel, Norman, Spartacus, Margaret. I really hope they get along really well. I'm gonna have to do it very slowly. They're gonna have to start having dates with a piece of this grid in between them, and then hopefully we can move on to having little 10-minute sessions with them together, supervised of course, and then the goal is to get to a stage where they can both be free roam together. So please, fingers crossed for us. Whew. It's okay, Pepe. This is the first time that the rabbits met face to face without bars separating them. I had to hold Pepe back because I was really scared that he was going to lunge at Miguel and bite him. I did then put them face to face with a bar between them, but then this happened. Ow! Yeah, it's very painful. For the first few days I used another piece of the pen to keep an extra inch between them because Pepe's nose can actually fit through the bars and he kept trying to bite Miguel on the face. So this is day 5 and I trusted Pepito enough not to kill Miguel. So they had breakfast together in the kitchen. I gave the floor a really good clean so it didn't smell of Pepito because he chills out in the living room, which is next to the kitchen, quite a lot. I did hold him back a little bit when they got a bit too close, just for safety for Miguel. Pepito has very sharp teeth. But for the most part, he did really well and I'm really proud of them both for coming so far in such a short space of time. Pepe! No! Pepe! 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 Stop! Stop! Hello aliens, I apologise for my appearance right now, but I don't care. After Miguel and Pepito had that little fight, I decided it would be best to wait until Miguel had been neutered to start bonding them again. Pepe was reacting to the smell that Miguel was giving off as an unneutered male, and there was no way the two could be friends with Miguel still having his balls, basically. Pepe has had a large growth on his paw for a couple of months, and it was getting bigger and bigger, and there was one day where it actually ripped through the skin on his paw. After I'd noticed that it had ripped through the skin, he basically had 2 more days. Today is the 9th of February, and today is the day that Pepito died. Pepe is an older rabbit, and the risks of putting him under anaesthetic was too high for my liking. They wanted to do x-rays and they wanted to take cells and test them to find out exactly what it is, but the vet said that the growth on his paw has almost definitely affected the bone by now, and we're looking at amputation or putting him to sleep. She explained that rabbits, as prey animals, if they have a limb amputated, it wreaks havoc on their mental health, and they generally don't live as long as we need them to or want them to, or as long as we expect them to. Pepe needed this growth off of his foot because he couldn't walk around with this massive lump. It was causing him pain. He was bleeding everywhere. He was biting it and the blood was getting on his face, and he just looked awful, and the blood was all over the carpet, and I couldn't hold him properly because the blood was getting all over me, and the nicest thing to do was to put him to sleep. And although I feel like I made the right decision, it's so hard. I feel like I've lost part of myself. As well as all the stress putting Pepito through anaesthetics and surgical procedures would have been, the financial aspect of things was too much for me. I said in a previous video that his treatment could go into the thousands, and I was right in saying that. She quoted me between £700 and £900. The vet quoted me that. And that's just the start of the costs. I decided that it was best to put him out of any misery. Pepe's had a really spoiled life. He's eaten some really good food. He's always had enough room to run around and play. He's always had new toys. He's always been brushed, nails clipped. He's that fancy that I even had professional artists do portraits of him. For anyone who's lucky enough to never have to put their pet down, and for anyone who might be in the same situation, it's so calm. So at the vets, they took him into the back to put an IV into his ear, into the vein in his ear or something. I don't know where it went. And then when he came out, he had this bandage around his ear, and the vet hadn't put the injection in yet. It was so quick but so undramatic. And she put the syringe into his ear, and when she was done, his face just went down, because obviously I can't be right next to the vet at this moment in time. So he was sat there, and then as soon as the injection was in, he just put his face down on the table, and I was able to pick him up and give him a squeeze just as he passed away. And I held him until he was gone. I will love Pepe forever, and I'll never forget him. I asked the vet to cut a little bit of his fur off. He had some really long fur behind his head. He was part lion head, so on the nape of his neck his hair was really long. So I asked the vet to cut it off for me, and I have it. And you know, everybody has their special teddy bear from when they're a kid or from when they were born or whatever. Well, I have a rabbit called Hippity. I'm gonna sew it into Hippity so that I know I'll always have Pepito with me. And of course I still have Miguel. I just felt like I wanted to share my experience and tell everybody why Pepe won't be in any more videos. Thank you all for your support. Catch you later, aliens. Stay away from those Grazes.